Close your eyes for a moment and feel the rhythm of your heart. Now imagine that each beat is not just a pulse of life, but an energetic signal being transmitted to the universe, a unique frequency that carries your deepest intentions, your most hidden fears, your most secret desires. Perhaps you've already experienced those inexplicable moments when you thought intensely about someone and that person called, or when you desired something with all your soul and suddenly, circumstances aligned in an almost magical way for it to happen. And maybe you've also lived the opposite, the frustration of desperately wanting something and seeing exactly the opposite manifest in your life. If you're here, it's because you feel there's an invisible connection between your inner world and the events that unfold around you. You perceive that something deeper is happening beyond what your eyes can see. But this connection seems inconsistent, unpredictable, sometimes even cruel. You wonder why some people seem to have the Midas touch for manifesting their desires, while you struggle to create real changes in your life. What Joe Dispenza and Greg Braden revealed through their revolutionary research is that this force is neither mysterious nor random. It's quantum physics applied to human experience. You're not imagining this connection between consciousness and reality. You're experiencing the fundamental truth of how consciousness energy interacts with the quantum field that surrounds us. There's a truth that can completely transform your understanding of your personal power. You're already an energy manipulator. At this exact moment, as you absorb these words, you're transmitting energetic signals that influence the quantum field around you. Your breathing has changed rhythm. Your heart may have accelerated or decelerated. Your posture has subtly adjusted. This isn't coincidence. It's living evidence that you're constantly in energetic dialogue with reality. The belief that energy is something esoteric and abstract that I can't consciously control is one of the greatest illusions that keeps us trapped in the sensation of powerlessness. The truth is that you manipulate energy constantly through every thought you choose, every emotion you cultivate, every moment of attention you direct. The problem isn't that you don't have this power, it's that you exercise it unconsciously, creating events you don't desire. Think about this moment. How many times have you entered an environment and immediately felt whether the energy was heavy or light? How many times have you noticed that certain people drain your energy while others elevate it? How many times have you noticed that your obsessive thoughts about problems seemed to attract more problematic situations? This isn't superstition. It's you directly experiencing how your energy interacts with the world. As Joe Dispenza teaches us, when you change your energy, you change your life. When you change your life, you change your world. This means you're not a passive receiver of energy. You're the active transmitter that programs reality through the quality of your energetic transmission. The awakening to the role of conscious energetic director is what separates those who feel like victims of circumstances from those who become deliberate architects of their experience. When you recognize that you already possess this capacity, the question stops being, "How can I get this power?" and becomes, "How can I consciously use the power I already have?" Your transformation journey begins with this fundamental shift in perspective. You're not learning something new. You're awakening to something that was always true. You're not a receiver of energy. You're the transmitter that programs reality. And today, you're going to discover exactly how to do this, consciously and deliberately, to create the quantum events you truly desire in your life. From this moment on, every conscious breath, every directed thought, every chosen emotion becomes a deliberate act of creation. You're about to remember who you really are, a quantum being with the innate power to influence reality through conscious manipulation of energy. Your emotion isn't just an internal feeling you experience privately. It's an energetic command that the universe executes with mathematical precision. Every emotional state you cultivate is a specific frequency being transmitted to the quantum field, carrying clear instructions about what type of events should manifest in your reality. The belief that my emotions are just internal reactions that don't affect the external world is one of the most costly illusions you can carry. While you believe your emotions are private and without external consequences, you're unconsciously programming your reality through every emotional state you allow to inhabit your being. Think of your emotion as a radio station that transmits 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. When you cultivate gratitude, you're transmitting on the frequency of abundance. The quantum field receives this signal and responds by sending more experiences that generate gratitude. When you allow yourself to inhabit fear, you're tuned to the scarcity channel, and the universe, obedient to your energetic instructions, sends more situations that confirm your fears. The quantum field doesn't judge which frequency is better or worse. It has no moral preferences or opinions about your emotional states. It simply responds with absolute fidelity to the signal you're emitting. Your external reality is always a precise reflection of your internal emotional transmission. Observe your life at this moment. The events that repeat, the situations that persist, the people who consistently appear in your experience, all of them are faithful mirrors of the emotional states you've been cultivating habitually. If you live in chronic anxiety, your reality will be populated by situations that justify and feed that anxiety. If you cultivate genuine confidence, events that confirm your capacity begin to multiply. Transformation happens when you stop being emotionally reactive and become conscious of the energetic quality of each emotion. You begin to deliberately choose states that magnetize the events you truly want to experience. It's not about suppressing negative emotions or forcing artificial positivity. It's about recognizing that each emotion is a creation tool and consciously choosing which tools to use. When you become conscious that your emotion is an energetic command, something extraordinary happens. Synchronicities begin to emerge with increasing frequency. Opportunities align in ways that seemed impossible before. Reality responds with greater precision and speed to your true desires, because you stopped sending contradictory signals. Your energetic mastery begins with this fundamental understanding. You don't feel emotions, you transmit commands, and the universe is always listening, always responding, always obeying the instructions you send through the quality of your emotional transmission. From now on, every emotional state you choose to cultivate is a deliberate act of reality programming. Have you ever wondered why you can obsessively think about something you desire and still see exactly the opposite manifest in your life? The answer lies in the energetic dissonance you create without realizing, an invisible interference that sabotages your manifestations before they even have a chance to materialize. The belief that I always think about what I want, but it never happens, reveals an incomplete understanding of how the manifestation process really works. Thinking about what you desire while feeling lack, fear, or doubt is like trying to tune a radio station while there's static interference. You can turn the dial to the correct frequency, the thought, but if there's emotional noise, the signal never reaches the destination clearly. Your energetic antenna doesn't pick up what you want. It picks up what you are energetically. And here's the revelation that can completely transform your manifestation experience. When you think about something you desire while feeling its absence, you're not transmitting desire. You're transmitting lack. The quantum field, always faithful to your signal, responds by sending more experiences of lack. Imagine you desire a loving relationship. You constantly think about this ideal person, visualize moments together, even feel the joy this connection would bring. But underneath these positive thoughts, there's an undercurrent of loneliness, of why hasn't it happened yet? Logically, of doubt about your ability to attract love. This emotional undercurrent is what's really being transmitted, and that's why you continue attracting situations that confirm your loneliness. The same pattern repeats with money, health, professional opportunities. You can have the most positive thoughts about financial abundance, but if underneath there's anxiety about bills, fear of not having enough, or belief that money is hard to come by, your antenna is tuned to the frequency of scarcity, not abundance. Recalibration happens when you stop trying to capture what you desire and start emitting the frequency of what you already possess energetically. It's the difference between I want to be prosperous and I'm grateful for the prosperity that flows through me. The first statement carries the energy of lack. The second, the energy of presence. When you align thought, emotion, and bodily sensation in the same frequency of the event already realized, something extraordinary happens. Internal resistance dissolves. There's no more conflict between what you think and what you feel. Your energetic transmission becomes coherent, clear, without interference, and the quantum field can finally respond with precision to what you're really communicating. Eliminating this energetic dissonance dramatically accelerates your manifestations because you stop sending contradictory signals. You're no longer fighting against yourself energetically. Your antenna is perfectly calibrated to receive exactly what you're consciously transmitting, not what you unconsciously fear. This is energetic mastery in action, recognizing that your external reality always reflects your internal transmission with absolute precision. When you change what you're really transmitting, not just thinking, but being energetically, your reality has no choice but to reorganize to match your new frequency. Your attention isn't a passive spotlight that simply illuminates what already exists. It's an active force of creation that collapses infinite quantum possibilities into a specific reality. Every moment you direct your consciousness towards something, you're not just observing, you're programming reality to organize itself according to the focus of your observation. The belief that observing is passive, I can only wait for things to happen, is one of the greatest limitations you can impose on your creative power. While you believe your attention only registers what's already there, you're wasting one of the most powerful manifestation tools you possess, your ability to collapse potentialities into concrete experiences through conscious observation. At the quantum level, all possibilities exist simultaneously in a state of superposition until a conscious observer directs their attention to one of them. At that moment, the wave of possibilities collapses into a particle of real experience. You're not discovering a pre-existing reality. You're choosing which reality you'll experience through the quality and direction of your observation. Think about how many times you focused intensely on a problem and saw that problem multiply in your life, or when you directed your attention to opportunities and they began appearing in places where they didn't exist before. This isn't coincidence. It's you directly experiencing how your attention programs reality to correspond to your focus. Your attention functions like a quantum magnet. Where you direct it consistently, reality reorganizes to provide more experiences of that type. If you habitually focus on scarcity, your observation collapses the possibilities of abundance and materializes experiences of limitation. If you direct your attention to gratitude and possibilities, these potentialities become your lived experience. Transformation happens when you recognize that every moment of conscious attention is an act of creation, not discovery. You stop being a passive observer, waiting for things to happen, and become a conscious director, choosing which possibilities you'll collapse into reality through the intentional focus of your consciousness. When you practice intentional observation, something extraordinary begins to happen. Events begin to materialize with greater speed and precision. Synchronicities multiply because you're consciously collapsing the possibilities that align with your true desires. Your reality becomes more responsive because you stopped observing randomly and began focusing deliberately. Your attention doesn't register reality, it programs it. Every moment you consciously choose where to place your focus is a moment you're exercising your quantum power of creation. You're not waiting for life to happen to you. You're collapsing the possibilities you want to experience through the intentional direction of your observing consciousness. Quantum mastery begins with this revolutionary understanding. You're not a passive victim of circumstances, observing a fixed reality. You're an active creator, collapsing infinite possibilities into the specific experience that your conscious attention is programming to manifest. The quantum field doesn't understand the language of lack. When you say, "I want," you're energetically communicating, "I don't have." When you affirm, "I need," you're transmitting the signal of absence. The universe, always faithful to what you're really communicating, responds by sending more experiences that confirm this lack you're declaring. The belief that just wanting it a lot is enough for the universe to deliver is one of the biggest traps in the conscious manifestation journey. The intensity of desire isn't what moves the quantum field. It's the energetic clarity of intention. And here's the crucial difference. Desire carries the energy of separation between you and what you want. Intention carries the energy of a decision already made. The quantum field responds to the language of present gratitude, not the language of future need. When you formulate an intention saying, "I am grateful for," followed by the experience as if it were already happening, you're speaking the language the universe understands perfectly. It's the difference between asking and declaring, between waiting and recognizing, between wanting and being. Observe the energetic difference between these two statements. "I want to find my life purpose," versus "I'm grateful for living my purpose with clarity and passion." The first carries the energy of search, lack, uncertainty. The second carries the energy of realization, presence, certainty. The quantum field responds to each of these transmissions in completely different ways. Your intention needs to be formulated as an energetic decision already made, not as a request awaiting approval. When you declare an intention with energetic precision, you're not negotiating with the universe. You're informing the quantum field about the reality you've chosen to experience. It's direct, clear communication without ambiguity. Transformation happens when you stop formulating intentions based on what you don't have and begin declaring them based on what's already true energetically. You feel the event as already present in your experience, not as something distant you hope to achieve. This shift in temporal perspective is fundamental. You're not creating something new. You're recognizing something that already exists in the field of possibilities. When you master this energetic language, your manifestations become more specific and aligned with your true desires, not with mental projections of what you think you should want. The field responds to the authenticity of your intention, not the performance of your will. The anxiety of wanting dissolves naturally when you understand you don't need to convince the universe of anything. You're not asking permission to have what you desire. You're declaring the reality you've chosen to experience. This energetic certainty is what transforms intentions into inevitable manifestations. The universe doesn't speak desire, it speaks energetic decision. And when you learn to communicate your intentions as decisions already made, as realities already chosen, as experiences for which you're already grateful, the quantum field has no choice but to reorganize reality to correspond to the clarity of your energetic declaration. Time isn't a straight line. You passively travel from past to future. It's a multidimensional structure where all possibilities of your life already exist simultaneously, waiting for you to choose which experience you'll access through your unique energetic signature. You don't create the future. You choose which already created future you'll experience. The belief that the future is uncertain and depends on external factors is one of the most limiting illusions you can carry about your nature as a quantum being. While you believe you're at the mercy of unpredictable circumstances, you're ignoring your fundamental power to consciously navigate between timelines that already exist in the field of infinite possibilities. Imagine time not as a single road, but as a giant tree with infinite branches extending in all directions. Each branch represents a possible version of your life. One where you're prosperous, another where you struggle financially, one where you find true love, another where you remain lonely. All these versions exist simultaneously in what quantum physicists call the multiverse. Your energetic signature, the unique combination of your habitual thoughts, dominant emotions, and quality of your attention, determines which branch of this temporal tree you're traveling at this moment. When you change your energetic signature, you're not creating a new reality. You're changing timelines, accessing a version of your life that already existed as a possibility. Think about moments in your life when everything changed quickly. Maybe you made a decision that seemed small, but opened completely unexpected doors. Or when you changed your perspective about something, and suddenly opportunities that didn't exist before began appearing. You didn't create these opportunities. You changed timelines to one where they were already available. Transformation happens when you stop trying to force events in the future and begin energetically tuning into the timeline where these events are already reality. It's like changing channels on television. You're not creating the programs. You're choosing which program to watch among all those already being transmitted simultaneously. When you live energetically as if you were already on the desired timeline, something extraordinary happens. Events begin to accelerate. Synchronicities multiply. You develop the sensation of being in the right place at the right time, with increasing frequency. This happens because you stopped fighting against the temporal flow and began consciously flowing in the direction of the experience you chose. Anxiety about the future dissolves naturally when you understand there's no real uncertainty, only infinite simultaneous certainties waiting for you to choose which to experience. You no longer need to worry if your manifestations will happen, because they already happened in some timeline. Your only responsibility is to align your energy with the version of reality where they're already true. Changing timelines isn't creating something new. It's consciously choosing a path that already exists. And when you master this quantum navigation, your life becomes a fluid sequence of aligned events, where the extraordinary becomes your ordinary experience, because you learned to access the timelines, where the extraordinary is already your natural reality. You're not alone in the quantum field. You're energetically entangled with every person who's part of your life, creating an invisible network of mutual influences that can potentiate or completely neutralize your quantum events. Your relationships aren't just social connections. They're shared energetic fields that directly affect your ability to manifest the reality you desire. The belief that other people don't influence my ability to manifest is one of the most dangerous illusions for those seeking energetic mastery. While you believe you can manifest independently of the energetic environment around you, you're ignoring one of the most powerful forces that shape your reality: quantum entanglement with the people closest to you. Think about the people you live with daily. You can feel when they're sad, anxious, or happy, even when they say nothing. You perceive changes in their mood before they even manifest in words or actions. This isn't intuition or emotional sensitivity. It's quantum entanglement in action. Your energetic frequencies are literally intertwined, creating a joint energetic field that influences everyone's manifestations. When you're energetically entangled with people who live in frequencies of fear, scarcity, or victimization, your own attempts to manifest abundance, love, or success encounter constant resistance. It's like trying to tune a clear radio station while there's interference from multiple other stations transmitting simultaneously. Your personal frequency gets compromised by the dissonance of the shared energetic field. Entanglement works both ways. Just as you can be influenced by others' frequencies, you also influence theirs. When you consistently elevate your energetic frequency, you can literally elevate the energetic field of your entire relationship network. But this also means you have the responsibility to protect your creative frequency from influences that misalign it. Transformation happens when you consciously recognize these energetic entanglements and learn to manage them. Protecting your frequency isn't selfishness, it's energetic responsibility. You can't serve others from a state of energetic depletion, just as you can't manifest effectively when your frequency is constantly being pulled down by toxic entanglements. When you develop energetic sovereignty, something extraordinary happens. You gain the ability to manifest independently of the social environment around you. You can maintain your creative frequency even when surrounded by people operating at different frequencies. Moreover, you become a field of positive influence that can naturally elevate others' frequency without conscious effort. Energetic mastery includes the wisdom to consciously choose with whom you energetically entangle. Some people amplify your ability to manifest through harmonic resonance. Others create constant interference that blocks your quantum events. Recognizing this difference and acting accordingly isn't judgment, it's energetic discernment. You're not alone in the field, you're entangled. And when you consciously choose with whom to share your energetic field, when you protect your creative frequency, and when you use your entanglement to amplify positive manifestations, you transform your relationships from potential obstacles into powerful catalysts for creating the reality you truly desire. Energetic inevitability isn't a mystical concept. It's quantum physics applied to personal mastery. When you achieve total energetic coherence, when there's no more conflict between what you think, feel, and do, the event stops being a possibility and becomes a mathematical certainty. It's like an equation where all variables are perfectly aligned. The result is no longer a hope. It's an inevitable consequence. The belief that I can never be sure if it will work out is the last obstacle between you and complete mastery of conscious manifestation. While you operate from uncertainty, you're transmitting to the quantum field that your manifestation is optional, negotiable, dependent on external factors. But when you cultivate energetic certainty, you're communicating that the event isn't a possibility. It's a reality that's already been decided at the quantum level. The difference between hope and energetic certainty is fundamental. Hope carries the energy of doubt disguised as optimism. You hope something will happen because you're not sure it will happen. Energetic certainty, on the other hand, is the state where you know something already happened in the field of possibilities, and you're simply awaiting its manifestation in the physical plane. Think about actions you execute with absolute certainty every day. When you flip a switch, you don't hope the light will turn on. You know it will turn on. When you turn the car key, you don't wish it will start. You're certain it will start. This same quality of certainty is what transforms your intentions into inevitable events. Energetic coherence happens when your thoughts, emotions, words, and actions are all aligned in the same frequency. There's no more part of you doubting while another part affirms. There's no more internal conflict between what you say you want and what you really believe you can have. All your energy is focused in the same direction, creating an energetic field so coherent that the universe has no choice but to respond. The transformation to energetic inevitability happens through conscious repetition of coherent states until they become automatic. It's like training a muscle. The more you practice energetic coherence, the more natural it becomes. Eventually, you don't need to try to be coherent. You simply are coherent because this has become your dominant energetic nature. When you reach this level of mastery, something extraordinary happens. Your manifestations stop being occasional miracles and become natural consequences of your internal coherence. You're not surprised when things work out because you knew energetically they would work out. Doubt and uncertainty become memories of a time when you didn't understand your true power. Energetic certainty dissolves manifestation anxiety because you're no longer waiting for something to happen. You know it already happened at the quantum level. You're simply allowing physical reality to update, to reflect the energetic decision that's already been made. It's the difference between hoping something will work out and knowing it can't go wrong. When your energy is coherent, the event isn't possible, it's inevitable. And when you operate from this energetic certainty, your life becomes a fluid sequence of precise manifestations, where the extraordinary is your ordinary experience, because you learned to create from inevitability, not from hope. You've reached the end of this journey, not as someone who learned something new, but as someone who remembered something you always knew. The ability to manipulate energy and create quantum events isn't a special gift reserved for a chosen few. It's your fundamental nature as a conscious being living in a responsive quantum universe. The belief that I still need to learn more before I can effectively manipulate energy is the last illusion that needs to be dissolved. You already possess all the necessary energetic technology. Every breath you take, every thought you choose, every emotion you cultivate, every moment of attention you direct, all of this are manifestation tools you've mastered since the moment you were born. As Greg Braden reveals in his research, we are quantum beings living in a quantum world. The question isn't whether we can influence our reality, but how we choose to do it. This conscious choice is what separates those who feel like victims of circumstances from those who recognize themselves as deliberate architects of their experience. What's missing isn't additional knowledge or more sophisticated techniques. What's missing is only the conscious and consistent application of the power you've always had. It's the decision to stop operating on the autopilot of unconsciousness and begin deliberately directing your energy to create the events you truly want to experience. Transformation happens when you daily integrate conscious energetic manipulation practices, becoming a deliberate creator of quantum events. It's not about dedicating hours of your day to elaborate rituals or complex meditations. It's about recognizing that every moment of your life is an opportunity to exercise your energetic mastery. When you awaken to this creative responsibility, your life transforms into a sequence of aligned events. Synchronicities stop being rare coincidences and become your daily experience. Precise manifestations stop being occasional miracles and become natural consequences of your energetic coherence. The extraordinary becomes ordinary because you understood that the extraordinary was always your natural expression. From now on, every thought you choose is a deliberate act of reality programming. Every emotion you cultivate is a conscious, energetic command. Every moment of attention you direct is an act of quantum creation. You're no longer at the mercy of circumstances. You're the energetic director of your experience. Your life is about to become a quantum work of art, where every event is a conscious brushstroke on the canvas of reality. You're not learning to manipulate energy. You're remembering how you always did. The difference is that now you do it consciously, deliberately, with mastery. The recognition of your already present power naturally activates creative responsibility and the urgency for immediate action. You don't need to wait for perfect conditions or additional knowledge. You can begin now, at this exact moment, to consciously exercise the energetic mastery that was always yours by right. You're not learning to manipulate energy. You're remembering how you always did. Now, do it consciously. Your reality is waiting for the clarity of your energetic direction. The quantum field is ready to respond to the coherence of your intention. And you're ready to assume your place as the conscious creator of quantum events you are always destined to be. The extraordinary is no longer extraordinary when you understand it's your natural expression. Synchronicities are no longer coincidences when you recognize their responses from the field to your energetic mastery. Your life is no longer a series of random events when you accept it's a sequence of conscious creations. Welcome to your true identity, the conscious manipulator of energy, the deliberate creator of quantum events, the energetic architect of your reality. This isn't a future aspiration. It's what you are now, at this moment, forever.